I have three, maybe four more for you. My kids are asking me to do the fourth one, so we'll see. Um, 10 things I want you to know about me. One, I am an empath, which of course means I feel all of the things all of the time. I feel all your pain. I carry it around in a bag and I have no idea how to put it down, nor have I quite figured out how to trade your burdens with those of the master, though I fully understand the benefits of giving him mine. So please spare me your lectures hidden just vaguely beneath your Christian generosity. And I apologize in advance if at times my shoulders appear a bit too hunched over for you. Please understand they carry the weight of, well, everything too. I believe mental illness is a real thing. 3, there's nothing you can say that would make me change my mind. So please don't try. See, you were not there that day mental illness called upon me to fight for my life like we were strangers in the night. 4, people say I am a survivor. 5, this depression, anxiety, and PTSD that clings to me tells me otherwise. And most days they work together just to convince me I am only barely alive. 6, I don't think not dying is prime qualification for the heaviness survivorship brings, and I haven't any more room at my table for the guilt of survivor's remorse. So in this, there will be no changing in my course. 7, I am the strong friend. Now, perhaps you heard some confusion as I confess this piece of information. See, my life from the inside out is a complete contradiction of this system. In fact, more times than what little pride I have will allow me to admit, I have fallen and not wanted to get back up. But I am afraid to die a self inflicted death, which leaves me no choice but to rise and get up, putting one foot in front of the other over and over and over. And I'm sure this is not what Webster had in mind when strength was inscribed within the confines of his spine. 8, I am a terrible friend. I don't know how to let people in. I worry that if I do, this boat I barely keep afloat will sink under those stones of their pity. You know, some people build walls, but I build cities, and I'm a horrible architect. For there are no doors and windows aplenty here. 9, as much as I love this poetry thing, I feel like I'm wasting everyone's time, or mostly mine. The record of those voices is stuck on repeat in the exact moment where I am reminded again and again that I am nothing now, nor will I ever be. Which is probably why there have been so many false starts and dead on arrival dreams in my life. 10. This is the end of this poem, but not the end of me. And even though my horizon sometimes looks quite dim, I have realized that I am strong enough, at least for today, to get up and do it all over again. So thank you very much for listening and taking the time to get to know me. Kim, there is rhythm when I speak, but not in my feet, so I say I have none. And I have never moved to the beat of public drums, though I am most free when my body moves of its own accord, connected to the music lyrically surrounding me. But I've been told often enough that dancing isn't my forte, and so I don't, choosing instead to remain locked away. And I love music. with its raspy vocals, its jingly tunes, and grouped together chords. Music is a joining together that no man can put asunder. Yet I have learned to avoid the places where music is on display, because eventually the crowd will be asked to participate, to clap together or sway this way and that, all in unison. And while I promise you it looks like great fun, and as much as I would love to join in, I won't. Because I have been convinced that every face will simultaneously look at me and instantly see that my hands either move too fast or too slow, or they will realize I've got two left feet, and just like that, I'll have ruined the show. I was born to sing. I carry melodies around in my back pocket. I can harmonize whatever song you've brought. Bathrooms have great acoustics. I know this because I used to give concerts there every morning, and sometimes at night if it didn't get too late. But I've been reprimanded to quiet my voice one too many times, or perhaps the joke of calling cats became one I no longer wanted to hear. At any rate, there are cobwebs now where microphones once hung, and there is nothing left to be sung. I try not to question if there is still purpose in my birth, and only ask occasionally why I was still born. These are the effects of an abusive cloud. And while I am only just now, years later, finding the courage to step out from under the umbrella and trust that the sun will shine, I am grateful for every drop of rain, each battle scar it bring, because they are mine. A tangible thing constantly reminding my brain from whence we came, and now the teacher teaching my heart how to create new songs to sing. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe deeply. This is beautiful. This is me. And I fell under the lamplight. Your eyes guided me in like I was a ship lost in the night. This wasn't supposed to happen. We were just supposed to be friends. But my soul found connection in our conversation, and my heart got lost in your cavernous rooms and convinced us that we were home. Your arms didn't stretch out to catch me, and it was not in any way a soft landing. When I fell, it was upon harsh reality which I landed. I'm no expert in time control. I don't own a DeLorean, and there are no phone booths to step in. And all of this is said to say I cannot change the direction of the clock's hands. It is all forward motion. And I am angry at Father Time for not giving us time to explore this notion. Can't you see? I love with more than just emotion. And it is not fair that you stepped out of my dreams and became a real life vision, and in one night gave me everything I've been missing. Your words did nothing to change my course. In fact, my fall already in action, in motion, and my love already a flower in bloom. Instead, your words ignited me, causing a cacophony of anger to rise up within me. How dare she have the audacity to wield her power in such a hurtful way? I would gladly pick up the pieces and put the jigsaw puzzle of you together again. I understand now why Jill went tumbling after, and why Barbie must have her Ken. I could not help my midnight fall, but to be your friend, that makes it all worthwhile. And last one, because my kids are off to the side and they're begging, and they're like, Mom, please do it, please do it. So I'm gonna do it. because I love my babies. Um, if you get offended by the word shit, probably you should not listen to this one. Living in shit shadow is a lot. Wait, sorry. Oops. Won't start there. I have an Ivy League education and a degree from the School of Hard Knocks, where I graduated summa cum laude because I've lived most of my life in shit shadow. But don't you be so quick to shed your tears and cry for me, because living in the shadow of shit taught me a lot of things. Like, shit taught me how to talk that shit, and best believe I can talk that real good shit, and I can make that shit you hear sound like, real good shit. No bullshit. And living in shit shadow, I learned how to recognize shit. So don't you try that shit, because I realize now I don't like that shit. And frankly, my dear, that shit don't fly with me. That's right. Living in the shadow of shit taught me I actually like the sunlight, and I don't really like that dark shit. And by the way, you can keep that demonic shit, because I ain't too hip with that neither. And by the way, living in the shadow of shit is a lot like living in this country, if you can catch my drift. Like, damn, my ancestors put up with a lot of shit. They revolutionized and fought that shit, Boston Tea Party, and tried to overturn that shit. But I guess the government ain't tired of that shit, because they keep on encouraging the same old shit. And that's no old wives' tale shit. That shit's some legit shit. And by the way, sometimes the shadow of shit is protective as shit, like caution, beware, that ain't no good shit. Have the hairs on the back of your arms and your neck standing up and shit, like that shit be some scary shit. And believe me, I'm being serious as shit. And like I said, the shadow of shit is some powerful shit, and everyone can't handle your shit, but that shouldn't stop you from doing shit. So own your shit. And on some real shit, you better learn how to depend on your own self, because people be with that selfish shit. But be careful how you move, because people also tell all your shit. So stay focused on your own shit, and don't you worry about their shit. Take a lesson from the shadow of shit and guard your shit, because shit be energy, and it might not be the kind of shit you need clouding up your spirit and shit. Know what I mean? Now, I've heard a lot of shit, some good shit, some bad shit too. So the shadow of shit showed up to show me a trick or two. Like, don't you be so quick to judge, because you never know the shit someone's been through. Like, shit. That shit be deep as hell shit. Like, can't believe you still smiling shit. Like, depression is alive and well shit. Shit. Shit be tough. It be hard as hell shit. I'm trying to tell you, it be that dope shit, makes you think you own shit. Then you wake up and wonder if this shit's all in your head, and you grow tired of laying in shit's bed, so you get your shit together and you go to counseling, and that shit makes you rethink every decision. Like, I don't want to walk in this shit. Like, it ain't for the weak, because that shit make you want to quit and shit. And like I said, all that shit be tough as shit, make you long for the days when that was the shit, because back then that shit wasn't so deep. Like, shit. All this shit made me forget where I was going with this shit. But I do know this. Living in the shadow of shit taught me that I am the shit. And best believe I'll bust the shit out of anyone who brings the shit. Because that's what I learned in the shadow of shit. And that's a lot of shit. That shit affects all your shit. You dig? Thank you guys so much.